Hi guys, welcome back to Wigs with Steph. Today I'm doing the most requested video I have ever gotten, and that's how to take Simmer and put the original wave back into her. Now, I'm not gonna sit here and say, hey guys, this is the exact same wig from top to bottom, because I'm not a perfect person and I can't promise you it's going to be identical. But what I can promise you is if you follow all the steps that I'm teaching you in this video, your Simmer wig is gonna turn out to look beautiful. And I honestly prefer the way I wave it even over the original version. So if you want your Simmer wig to turn out like this and look the way my Simmer wig is looking today, then keep on watching. All you're gonna need is a mannequin head today and a clamp to clamp it onto either a coffee table or a kitchen counter. I'm gonna be using the kitchen counter. Then what you're gonna need is a fine tooth comb and some type of brush or wide tooth comb to detangle your wig. You're going to need some sectioning clips, little pins to pin your wig to the mannequin head in the ear tabs so that it doesn't move around when you're styling it. And last but not least, you need your Simply Styling silicone spray. I use this on all my wigs whenever I'm refreshing it, whenever I'm restyling it. When I go pull a wig out of a box, if it's feeling a little dry, this is what I put on it. Guys, this is my ride or die. If I could tell you to get anything, obviously besides the mannequin head, because you absolutely need it to do this, get this product. You will not regret it. It does have a bit of a smell, but it's not a bad smell. It's just a strong smell. So for those of you who are sensitive with smells, just a warning there, but I would still say get it. Like if you have to, go spray it on your wig outside or turn the fan on in your bathroom, spray it, and then walk out, because this makes your wig just look so good. Okay, without further ado, let's get into the video. Before I put any sort of wave into my Simmer wig, I first make sure it's poker straight. This is because it's the only way I can ensure my waves will turn out the way I want it to look. We all know that when you put heat onto a heat-friendly synthetic wig, the wig will form into whatever the fibers are shaped as when the heat is put to it. So if the hair is tangled to begin with, for example, and we try to add a wave to it, you're gonna end up with a tangly, knotted wig. If you wanna watch how I straighten this wig, there will be a link to it at the very end of this video. I recommend you do that step first before you attempt the wave. Now, all you're gonna do, guys, is section off a portion of your wig. We're gonna start at the bottom, and just make sure that as you guys are continuing through this process, you're taking small sections of hair. Now portion out a little bit of that section of hair and put the straightener near the roots, and I want you to turn the barrel halfway around while pulling down on the length of the hair. Always moving down with the straightener. What you're gonna notice though, guys, is when you start at the base, the nape of the neck, the hairs there are going to be shorter than, let's say, the top of the head. So when you're at the nape of the neck, don't worry too much about trying to roll that barrel all the way around 360, because on these shorter hairs, also depending on what wig you're working on, you might not be able to get the full turn of the barrel or the straightener, and that's okay. The whole point to these underneath nape of the neck hairs is just to get a bit of a wave going. You're most likely not going to get the full depth of a wave like what we're gonna do at the top of the wig, because there's just not enough hair there. So really don't worry about it. Just try to make it look as good as you can. Just try to create some sort of a wave and keep moving around through that section until it looks good enough. And then we're gonna take a new section of hair and move on up. And as you'll see, as we move up in each section of hair, the hairs on the head will get longer and longer, in which case you'll be able to turn the barrel more than you would have before. Also, something else that you might not have noticed, because I haven't talked about it yet, but on the left side of the wig, I turn the pieces away from my face until I meet the middle part of the back of my head. And then I do it the other direction. And then I turn the right side of the wig pieces away from the right side of my face. So you have the right side going backwards and you have the left side going backwards and meeting in the middle of the back of your head. On these lower pieces, I find that people don't really see them anyways. We're just waving them because obviously it would stick out like a sore thumb if we had the top layers of the wig waved and then the underneath were like poker straight, right? That wouldn't look good. But what I'm trying to say is don't be too like picky where, you know, you're getting frustrated, you're getting stressed because you feel like they're not the same as the other ones. Beside it, it really doesn't matter, guys. Like, you just do the best you can. We're not perfect humans. Just just turn the barrel as much as you can as you're going down, and you'll find that you'll get into a sort of rhythm that you repeat. And it's you repeating the process throughout the rest of the hairs as you move up through the sections that's going to make the wig look cohesive and really beautiful when we come to the end of this. And what you'll notice now, because of course we're in a new section up from the nape of the neck, so these hairs are a little longer than the nape of the neck was, which means that we're now turning the barrel, by barrel I mean straightener, more than we were at the nape of the neck. So at this point, we're getting pretty close to a full turn 360 around. And as we get higher up, we're definitely going to be doing the 360 fully turn the straightener around as we pull down on the hair and move down. After you've waved each section, and this is really important, guys, after you've created that wave with the straightener, you've dragged the straightener down and now you've released the straightener and the hair is free, I want you to take your hand and do that quick little turn with your hand. Make sure it's falling into the right position so that when it cools, it's in the wave. Sometimes when we drag the straightener out, the hair will fall and get caught on the other hairs and it won't fall into that wave. And then it'll cool like that and we'll come back and wonder, why did that wave not stick? So now that all my tips and tricks are sort of out of the way, you can see we've moved up to a new section. We're pretty close to the top of the head, but not quite there yet. But at this point, look at how I turn the barrel. We are going in a full circle around now as we drag the straightener down the section of hair that we've picked out. At this point, I'm pretty sure you guys probably have the hang of this process already, so I'm gonna skip to the top layer of hair because this is where I really want us to focus on making it look so good. At this point, the emphasis should really be on taking small portions. I know that I said that at the beginning, like for all the other sections, nape of the neck going up, but at this point, guys, at the top of the wig, everyone sees the top of the wig. So now we want the waves to be really defined. Take your time through here, guys. If I can give you any advice, is this top layer, take your sweet time. Remember the right side of the wig, turn it back away from your face, meaning to the middle back of your head. And then the left side of the wig, turn it back away from your face, meaning to the middle part at the back of your head. These front pieces are always really important to me, so I tend to take my time on them, and typically I'll redo these front pieces like 5 times if I have to, just because they frame my face and I want to make sure that they're spinning in the right way, backwards away from my face. I don't mind taking a lot of time on my synthetic wigs, especially when I reach the top of the head, because this style, being that it's synthetic, is going to essentially freeze like this in whatever style I put it in. I try to make it as perfect as I possibly can. It changes every single time I do it, guys. It's never exactly the same, but it always looks good after all is said and done. My final trick to making this style absolutely perfect is to go back and inspect the wig and take out little portions at the very tippy top of the wig, pull the tiniest of sections up at the top of the wig, starting at the root, and really twist that straightener all the way around coming down. And we're gonna go about an inch away from that piece of hair that we just sectioned out at the front of it and behind it. We're gonna make our way around the whole circumference of the tippy top of the wig, starting at the roots. Remember to frame it away from your face always, same thing we've always done, but really tighten up that wave. This is going to make your wig stand out and be so beautiful when we brush through it at the end. What this final technique allows me to do is get even closer to the root than we were able to get previously. And by doing that, it allows me to make this wave tighter and come up higher on the simmer wig head. You can do this with any style. It doesn't just have to be simmer, but this is how I found I can get as close to the original wave as possible, because they do bring up that wave decently high up onto the wig. So this is the step that creates that final look of the original simmer wig. Don't forget to let your top layer cool first so that the style will stay the way you've made it, and then go take your detangling brush and brush starting at the root all the way down to the ends, and then you're done. I hope your wig turned out to look like this one. Just remember that if you want to position the waves even higher up on the wig, or you want it starting up here, that just means you have to go and take your straightener and start the twisting up higher than we did in this video. So it's great because you can totally change up how you want your wave to look. Just play around with the straightener. You can get so many awesome styles just with a straightener. And if you want to see my review on 𝒲𝒹𝒻𝒂, click this link here. I also have 𝒲𝒹𝒻𝒂 Elite, and if you want to see that review, click this link here. Thank you guys so much for tuning in today, and I will see you next time.